On today's episode of Homes Explained, we're discussing the house styles Americans love to hate. Now, every architectural style has its critics, but a few seem to attract more than their fair share. So today we're counting down 3 of America's most controversial house styles. In reverse order, at number 3 is the split level. And if you've ever walked into a home and immediately found yourself standing on a small landing with a choice of either going upstairs or downstairs, then you've definitely been in a split level home. This style became enormously popular in the 1950s, 60s and 70s during the suburban boom. Builders were looking for ways to provide more living space without the cost of a full 2-story home, and the split level offered a practical solution by staggering the floors while keeping the home's overall height relatively low. A typical split level divides the home into 2 staggered levels. A short flight of stairs leads up to the main living area where you have the kitchen and the bedrooms, while another leads down into the family room, garage and utility space. And for many families, this arrangement worked extremely well. It separated activity, provided privacy and made efficient use of space. But despite these advantages, split levels have developed something of an image problem. One common criticism is that they're simply inconvenient. Almost everything requires navigating stairs. And as homeowners age, these constant level changes can become less appealing. Others dislike the exterior appearance because, unlike the symmetry of the colonial or the balanced proportions of a craftsman, split levels can feel very visually awkward on the exterior with staggered roof lines and very asymmetrical facades. And then there's the layout itself. Modern buyers tend to gravitate more towards open concept living, while split levels divide activities into separate zones. What once felt organised and practical can now feel compartmentalised and dated. Yet despite the criticism, millions of Americans continue to live happily in split-level homes. They're often more affordable, offer generous amounts of space, and the separation that some buyers dislike is exactly what others appreciate. The split level may not be America's favourite style, but it probably doesn't deserve the amount of hate that it gets. Coming in at number 2 is a house style I'm going to call Builder Modern, which, strictly speaking, isn't an officially recognised architectural style. You're certainly not going to find it alongside Craftsman or Colonial Revival in any architectural textbook. Instead, it's a nickname given to a trend that has spread through subdivisions across America over the last decade or so, and chances are you've seen plenty of them. These homes typically feature very simple forms, minimal architectural detailing, plain white or grey colour palette, an attached garage, and open concept layout. They're designed to feel current and appealing while remaining affordable to build. And that's exactly where the criticism begins. Many people describe these homes as cookie cutter, generic, or just lacking personality. Drive through some newer subdivisions and it feels like the same floor plan and the same materials have just been repeated again and again. Others argue the focus has shifted away from architecture to just bland boxes. Compared to many older homes, builder modern houses often prioritise square footage, functionality and construction efficiency over any kind of distinctive design or craftsmanship. But there's a reason these homes are so common. Production builders are responding to what people want while trying to keep homes affordable. Simpler designs are just faster and less expensive to build, and for many families, the result is a very comfortable, practical home that meets their needs. In many ways, Builder Modern may simply be the latest example of a housing style becoming a victim of its own success. The more common it becomes, the more criticism it attracts. Now, before I reveal number 1, let me know in the comments if you agree with my ranking or if you think there is another house more worthy of the title of America's most hated house style. So, with that said, drum roll, the winner is the McMansion. Now, much like the Builder Modern, McMansion isn't actually a recognised architectural style. Instead, it's a derogatory nickname given to a certain type of large suburban home that became especially popular during the 1980s, 90s and early 2000s. Very few house types have attracted as much criticism and disdain. But firstly, what exactly is a McMansion? Well, the term generally refers to a large home built on a relatively small suburban lot that attempts to convey luxury through size and visual impact. These homes often borrow elements from multiple architectural styles, combining them into a single design. And for critics, that's where the problem begins, because one of the most common complaints is a lack of architectural consistency. So you've got complex roof lines, multiple exterior materials, and an abundance of decorative features that make the home feel visually cluttered rather than cohesive. Others argue McMansions prioritise size over proportions, with soaring foyers, oversized rooms, and just expansive square footage designed to impress rather than create balanced architecture or indeed a comfortable home. But despite the criticism, McMansions were incredibly popular. For many families, they offered exactly what they wanted: larger kitchens, bigger bedrooms, home offices, bonus rooms, and plenty of space for modern living. And in many ways, the McMansion became the architectural expression of the American dream at the turn of the millennium. And perhaps that's why they remain so controversial. The debate isn't just about architecture, it's all about taste and what success should look like. Whether you see them as architectural excess or simply a product of their time, few house types have attracted more criticism than the McMansion. When you consider all three of the homes that I've profiled today and the less than stellar reputation that they have, remember that none of them became popular by accident. The split level solved space constraints for growing suburban families. The builder modern reflected the demands for affordable and practical housing. And the McMansion represented the aspirations of a generation that wanted more space and amenities. Whether you love them or hate them, each of these homes tells us something about the people that built them and the time in which they became popular. And maybe that's why architecture is so fascinating, because the houses we criticise today often reveal just as much about us as they did about the generations that came before us. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my ranking or if there is an even more hated house out there than the ones I covered. See you next week for more Homes Explained.